Hope you are doing well. Today we are here for panel discussion with the theme commitment and commendable task of pharmaceutical R&D in the area of treatment, prevention and cure of COVID-19. Obviously, all the pharmaceutical companies worldwide are here in a merge condition to have one aim to treat this particular condition. Our research group is also have innovative approaches. Like one of the approach what we are having is the treatment may be of the host cells proteins rather than for a viral protein, because the viral protein is going a very fast mutation. But viral protein, scientific fraternity knows it depends upon the host cell proteins for replication and proliferation. So if the host cell protein, which is not very important for the host cell, but it is important for the viral proteins, viral cells, that can be targeted so that the viral cannot replicate and cannot proliferate, and obviously it will vanish. So that is the one of the innovative approach what we are having. Our research scholars are here today, and they will be putting more emphasis on whatever the areas, all the areas of diagnosis, prevention, and treatment are there. And I request Dr. Rajiv, who is the professor of medicinal chemistry, to start the session with our research scholars.
Thank you, Dr. Saurabh, for inviting me or giving me opportunity to conduct a panel discussion, which are very important nowadays. As we all aware that nowadays it's a very hard time for all of us, and everyone is fighting against the novel coronavirus. And this disease become a pandemic, and number of deaths worldwide is increasing day by day. All pharmaceutical companies as well as research organizations are doing their best to combat with disease, but still we are unsuccessful. In today's panel discussion with one of good eminent personalities, we will discuss about what is the current scenario in research and development commitment to combat COVID-19. First of all, I invite Ms. Mandeep Kaur, PhD scholar in pharmacology. Hello, ma'am. How are you?
Very good afternoon, sir. I'm fine, and hope all of you are also fine.
Thank you. Let's start with the discussion with you, ma'am. Is the drug development and pharmaceutical companies prepared to meet the challenge of a global pandemic, ma'am?
Yes, sir, I would say yes, of course, because our biopharmaceutical industries, we can witness the impressive turnover that they have making, that they have done nowadays. I would like to add something that around 400 clinical research trials are being registered with FDA nowadays. So starting from the that era that COVID-19 has come into existence, there have been 400 registrations for the clinical trial. Out of these 400 registrations, approximately more than 100 are done by being done by US, and more than 150 are being done by China. And our country is also leading the same thing. So we are focusing mainly on how to deal with the remote patient monitoring. Remote patient monitoring is a major strategy which is being used nowadays. In this, what is being done, that it is following the criteria of meeting the needs, but making that necessary that quarantine is there. We are focusing on the social distancing also, but still by this method, by this remote patient monitoring, each and every healthcare facility is dealing with the patient. We are conducting virtual clinical trials. So this has given us a challenge, but we have accepted it, and we are doing the best what we can do in this scenario. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Now with us Amandeep Kaur, PhD scholar of Pharmaceutics, City University. Uh, Amandeep Kaur, what do you think how pharmaceutical companies play a role in diagnosis of coronavirus?
Okay, sir. As we know, there is a rapid speed of the COVID-19. So there is a drastically increase the demand for the kits, diagnostic kits, especially in the US as well as in Europe. So many pharmaceutical companies, they are helping in this fight. As one of our renowned company, that is a GlaxoSmithKline multinational company in London, they had already collaborated with the University of the Cambridge. They
Okay.
explore the alternative chemical reagents for these test kits to overcome the shortage of the supply. Our another multinational company, Randox, that is in Ireland, They set up the laboratories inside there as per the WHO guidelines, and where they test the 324 samples in a 8 hours and give a report back of the patient in a within the 4 hours. And this company also collaborate with the Bosch Healthcare, and they set up the 1 point, so they will give a reports within a 3 hours rather than a 4 hours. In all over the world, we all get a RC RT-PCR probe from the America, US mainly. So to overcome this, our Indian government also allow the Indian company MyLab and German firm to supply these diagnostic kits for the to overcome this shortage. That's it.
Okay. Now with us, Shipra, who is a PhD scholar in pharmaceutical chemistry at City University. Hello, ma'am. How are you?
Hello, sir. I'm fine.
Uh, Ma'am, what is the research development in terms of ventilation system in an Indian institution? What are your views?
Sir, my views are that recently I have studied that in Pune, a bunch of young engineers, they are actually trying to develop a low-cost ventilator. In Ludhiana, if we study, there are population more than 20 lakh people, but the ventilator system here in the hospitals are just 20 and they cost about 1.5 lakh. So in
Oh,
order to combat with it, the people are trying to prepare some ventilators. Even some neurosurgeon and one scientist has developed a toaster-sized ventilator, and even IIT Rishikesh students, they are trying to develop a portable ventilator, which are, they say that it will pay around just 25,000 rupees if it is being manufactured by the Indian companies.
very much informative knowledge. Now with us, Nitu Deswal, who is a PhD scholar in pharmacognosy. Uh, According to you, what do you think that life science companies helping NHS on the ground level?
Good afternoon, sir. Yes, sir, definitely the companies are also helping the national health scheme on a ground level too by providing other facilities to the needed people. For example, there is a company Johnson and Johnson that is very famous company, and they will providing around 2,50,000 hand creams, sanitizers, and many bottles of the accessory toiletries also in the hospitals or any other places also. And in the meanwhile, they will also provide their trained company employer as a volunteer to fight against these disease. So that is very good for these companies. And another company that is in Tanaka in UK, they are also providing the money in the form of meals and other necessary groceries that should be within the person that they are needed. Like in childhood cares, in the homeless patients or in the elderly patient, they are supplying their meals and foods and clothes, etc.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Miss Mandeep, as a pharmacy researcher, what do you think? What can be an alternative way to other than the vaccine for coronavirus?
Well, sir, according to me, as COVID-19, it is a viral disease, so vaccine is the first option we are having. So vaccines, if we talk about vaccine around the world, there are 25 clinical trials that are being conducted for the development of a vaccine. For that, the first trial, which was started by USA, they start enrolling the patients. But if we talk about the alternative is that we can induce some monoclonal antibodies. For example, I'll discuss it in detail. That if a person who had been suffering from coronavirus and is being treated and is fine now, we can take some antibodies from that patient and can give to the another those who are suffering till now. They are suffering. So that antibodies will act as a monoclonal antibodies and it will be useful. Other than this, a drug named hydroxychloroquine. It is immunosuppressive. Along with that, it is antiparasitic. So it is being induced in the clinical trials nowadays in 19 clinical trials alone and along in the combination with the other drugs. So it will be useful for them. Some antiviral drugs are there. Our industry is focusing on the isolation of some antiviral drugs. Around 130 antiviral drugs have been newly isolated for the treatment of coronavirus. So to hasten this treatment, to accelerate this process of finding the treatment, our FDA have given recently the emergency approval to two new DNA-based techniques which will give results of positive or negative within an hour. So hopefully we'll be in the stream soon. Thank you, sir.
Okay, okay, thank you. Miss Amandeep, what are your views if we talk about the testing of COVID-19?
Okay, as the COVID-19, this test can identify the SARS-CoV-2 virus, and it includes the different methods. Like one method is RT-PCR. Almost all countries do this test, RT-PCR, and isothermal nucleic acid amplification. This test is mainly used to determine the presence of virus itself. And there is also one test, that is the antibody serology test, is being done. This test mainly used to diagnose the population surveillance. This antibody test show how many people had this disease, who have a symptom, minor symptoms of them or major symptoms. In India, there are too many industries, whether government or private, they were open for a 24 hours for doing a COVID testing. So ICMR mainly recommend the RT-PCR in India. So there is some guidelines made by them. If any person suffering from these symptoms or showing these symptoms, like they develop acute onset of the fever, symptoms of the respiratory illness, maybe a cough or shortness of the breath, then he or she must visit the health facility that is nearby their home. After that, that physician will decide whether he or she will go for a test or not go for a test. And if he feels that he must go for a test, then he will prepare a one profile of that patient, along with some requirements like a signature of that patient, as well as a photo identity of that patient. That may be a passport ID, that may be a voter card ID or Aadhaar card ID. Then they took a sample, like nasopharyngeal or oropharyngeal swab was collected carefully for that patient and send it to the laboratories, and they will give a result after 24 hours of the sampling.
Very fruitful knowledge and fruitful information. Ms. Shipra, what do you think how pharmaceutical companies come forward in terms of sanitization at the public sector?
Yes, sir. Sir, according to it, actually everything is being done by a civic humanities. The municipal corporation companies, they have come around. They are taking help of our tenders, and even some companies, what are they doing? They are preparing sanitizer in more amount. They are using isopropyl alcohol or isopropanol in glycerine, and hydrogen peroxide solutions are being used. They are used for sanitizing bus stops, railway platforms, toiletries, parks, roads, and other PPE equipment like gloves, triple layer mask. They are also being used in South India now. Some companies like Flight Base, they are coming against COVID-19 as a name, Flight Against COVID-19. They're actually conducting aerial patrols, and they're working with police and government authorities and municipal corporation people to provide drones, and these drones are being used for sanitizing our roads, parks, our railway platforms, bus stops, and etc.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Ms. Neetu, as a researcher, what
Yes.
you can do for your institution to protect from coronavirus?
Okay, sir. Being a part of city university organization or being a student as a research scholar, we can create an innovative ideas to fight against this COVID-19, being and join this war. And there is a site which is prepared by the government, mygovernment.in COVID-19. They are like asking innovative challenges, so we can create ideas, we can develop ideas to make any kind of way to fight against this disease. And they will be announcing the money prize also for the participant in this challenge. Like first prize, they will the government will pay the 1 lakh rupees, second prize that is 50,000, and third prize that is of 25,000. So we can make us as a part of this fight by creating new ideas, innovative ideas, or other way by giving our funds in the PM fund. So that can be go for the needed person. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you all. Thanks for sharing informative and fruitful information with us. Now I request Dr. Saurav Sharma, Head and Professors, Department of Pharmaceutical Sciences and Healthcare, City University, to sum up the discussion of panelists. Thank
So, well, as we come across, like all the pharmaceutical R&D companies have come to a merger and are working day and night. The impact is same: to treat, to diagnose, to attenuate this particular condition, and and obviously to put a better drug on the table of the doctor. That is the main part. What is the responsibility of the pharmaceutical R&D? And as a healthcare professional, obviously we have seen everybody is saying use sanitizers, use preventive measures, use precautions, stay at home. That is obviously the requirement of the time. And as a healthcare professionals, it is our moral duty to upgrade the moral of the society. Wherever we are, we have to upgrade the moral of the society to have an impact of a safe life. No panic condition should be there, and we can play a very important role to avoid this panic condition. So thank you.